Hi everyone, Cheryle here. Today I wanted to share some information with you regarding some of the energy techniques that I use in my healing practice. I think it all began back in the 80s when I studied 4 levels of Touch for Health. Now, for those of you who don't know what Touch for Health is, it's sort of the foundation, I think, of what Donna Eden does with her energy medicine, but Touch for Health is a method that utilizes things like muscle testing for energy flow in the body, and uses a variety of techniques to help to balance that energy flow. Everything from acupressure on the different points for the meridians, neuro-lymphatic massage points, which helps to stimulate energy flow within the body, and also neurovascular holding points, which also help with processing emotions and emotional blocks within the body-mind system and the energy flows along the meridians. It is a comprehensive system of balancing the whole body, all 12 meridians, and then the two, the central and the governing meridian as well. And there's a very comprehensive book by Dr. John T. who created this system back in the 70s, which outlines all of the correlated nutrients, various techniques in working with pain along the meridians and using it for balancing various things. And there are other systems that are linked into Touch for Health, things like Brain Gym and educational kinesiology, which also help with things like dyslexia and various imbalances in how the brain is communicating from one hemisphere to the other. And I've been using Touch for Health since the 80s, since I was trained in that. I worked with a fellow in his clinic in Kelowna and took courses there, as well as one of my relatives, my husband's relatives, worked at the clinic. And so I got a lot of additional information that way as well, and working with various techniques to help balance the energy flow within the body. Because when the energy isn't flowing through our organs and our glands and through our body parts properly, it can cause all kinds of side effects. And one imbalance can lead to another. And so this is such a comprehensive system. I've always loved working with Touch for Health. I still continue to use it in my practice. And of course, back in the day, all we did was take notes and write things down. And now there are things like specialized software that helps with keeping records and helping with information and helping clients to see where the energy flow is. So this system combines things like the meridian system and the 5 elements, and also working with muscles and pain and energy flow, emotions, nutrition. It's a very comprehensive system. So I do enjoy working with Touch for Health. And that's one of the energy techniques that I use. Another one that I use is, of course, Reiki, and more people are familiar with Reiki. I've been a Reiki master since, I want to say, the mid-90s, and I've used that quite extensively in my practice as well. And that is, again, another technique of drawing in universal life force and healing energy and acting as a facilitator to anchor it into the client's body and allow the healing to go where it's needed. It's also a very powerful technique. It helps with relaxation, it helps with healing, speeding up healing, and improving energy flow within the system. And it's just a very soothing and relaxing, comforting, and healing technique. Another energy medicine technique that I use is BodyTalk. now. I've been a practitioner of Body Talk for about, I think it's been almost 15 years now. And Body Talk is very, very comprehensive in that it utilizes many techniques all combined together, and the protocol is very detailed. So the premise of Body Talk is that everything within the body-mind complex um, is in constant communication with all parts of the body-mind complex. So it's like a massive supercomputer that is constantly relaying information from all parts to all parts as a holistic uh, way of communication. And so when we are stressed or when we have certain, whether it be physical or mental stressors or environmental stressors, those things can impact and influence how this internal massive comprehensive computer system, if you will, of communicating constantly information and relaying information can get disrupted from any kind of stressors. And so, as a Body Talk practitioner, my role is to reestablish proper communication between those parts that have lost their communication or are weak in their communication. And so, through the Body Talk process, um, which is based on subtle neuromuscular testing, we find out what is not communicating correctly. And then there's a variety of balancing techniques depending on what shows up and which part is not communicating with another part. And the whole thing creates kind of like a personalized mathematical formula. Think of it like a roadmap to effective healing. So, part A isn't communicating with part Z or whatever it might be. It's a very long, it can be very comprehensive, a very thorough and comprehensive formula that is given, and we use various techniques to balance that massive formula. And it's unique each time, and it's unique for each individual. When I've worked with Body Talk, I have helped people to balance their fertility issues, balance their hormone issues, help with pain control, help with things like vertigo and various, real intense physical concerns that help to bring balance back to the body and the mind. And so, again, this is another form of energy medicine, along with the Touch for Health, the Reiki, and the Body Talk. Um, those things can help to create balance and help the energy flows. And so it can be very, very comprehensive. And with the Body Talk, as well as with the Touch for Health, there is a series of information that's revealed that helps to show where the person's weaknesses may lie, because certain patterns will reveal themselves in a repeated fashion. And so then you're always looking at how you can support that, how you can help to create balance through other supportive factors, whether it be nutrition, whether it be, certain physical movements, things like working with brain gym or some of the techniques that are used with educational kinesiology for balancing the brain hemispheres. That can help to bring balance in other ways as well. Learning disorders or difficulties with ADHD or dyslexia and things like that can be helped. And so using these techniques on a recurring basis can be very supportive for helping the energy in the body and also strengthening the physical body at the same time. And it's a way of also balancing emotional energy, so that if there is something that is causing stress on an emotional level, balancing the energy that way can also help to strengthen all the other components. So those are a few of the energy techniques that I utilize in my practice. And all of them have a slightly different focus. They all have a way of bringing energy balance back into the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body. They can all work with that, but they're just using different applications. So, with Touch for Health, we're doing muscle testing and isolated muscle groups to correlate those muscle tests to specific meridians, which in turn help to link that to specific organs and glands in the body, which helps to understand where the weaknesses are, and then using pressure, acupressure, using neurolymphatic massage points, using neurovascular holding points, or running the meridians, as we call it, increasing the energy flow along the meridians. All of those things can help with Touch for Health, and it can create a much more balanced state. People feel more grounded. They feel like they're more centered after a Touch for Health session, much like you would after a Reiki session, because that is also centering and grounding and balancing. And the BodyTalk can do the same. They just tackle it from different angles, and they're using slightly different techniques, but we're creating this energetic balance because we are energy first. We think about things, we are thoughts, those thoughts create emotions, those emotions can create a physical reaction in the body, whether it's stressful or not. And so we step down from that higher level down into the body. So by working with the energy first, we are actually not working with it once it's turned into something more uh, physical, where it's manifesting in the physical body. We are working with it at an energetic level before it gets to that point, so that you can prevent certain things from manifesting physically in the body by working with the energy first. And I also work with the energy of crystals and moving energy that way. I have a variety of tools and techniques that I've uh, brought in from spirit that help with that as well, increasing energy flow, helping with balancing the cranial nerves, balancing with the energy flow in the brain. I have a variety of things that I use for that as well. So I just wanted to share this component of my practice, because we're not just physical bodies. We have multiple layers to our being, and the energy level is sort of getting more at the root of something before it manifests or before it gets extreme. And by tapping into the energy and balancing that on a regular basis, we can bypass things getting more extreme in the physical form. So I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of information about some of the energy work that I do. And if you have any questions, please contact me. I can work with my clients remotely as well as in person. And so please feel free to contact me if you have any questions or if you're wanting to book an appointment. Have a fabulous day.